Hi everyone, it's Kathy with Paper Phenomenon. I'm here to officially introduce the B2B project. It is what I'm calling Back to Basics. It's back to basics on how to create a mini album from start to finish. Not just the how to construction, but also the why. Have you ever seen one of my projects or anyone else's project that you look at it and you say, I would love to make that, but I don't know where to begin? Well, this is where you begin. I teach you basic construction methods on how to create this wonderful storage unit and three mini albums: a beginner, an intermediate, and an advanced. It's a natural progression in the design life cycle of creating handmade projects. In this case, a mini album. It's going to house all of your memories, record all of those special moments. It's going to open the doors for gift giving opportunities for you. You're going to refer back to this over and over, and you're going to use it every single time there is a need for a gift, perhaps some record keeping for yourself, or just because you want to get crafty. All right. And what I love about this is that it just touches on every single one of those points where you may be in the middle of a project and you're saying to yourself, gosh, I wish I had a quick video or a visual on how to get this one step done in terms of finishing that one particular element of an album or perhaps of a box. Like, how do you get your corners right, or how do you attach this hinge, how far in should I go? All right, all of those small little things that sometimes you cannot capture in a written tutorial. So what B2B is all about is a combination of the written instruction with the photographs and the video, which gives you the visual. That's why I call it a scrapinar. On my blog, I talk about the B2B scrapinar. Well, what a scrapinar is a fancy word for webinar or online class. And all it is videos, how-to videos on whatever that particular topic is. B2B is creating beautiful mini albums, handmade mini albums from start to finish, from a very beginner stage to an advanced stage. So when you're done with this course, you're going to know how to learn or know how to create perfect boxes and albums, mini albums, and you can take that to large albums or any size album you want. Binding, custom page making, interactive elements, interactive photo mats, pockets, flaps and flips, everything you could possibly think of. So without further ado, let's take you inside this box. So again, the album, the B2B course consists of making this beautiful storage box and three albums: beginner, intermediate, and advanced. I'm going to take you on a quick tour of the beginner album. All right. So I don't want you to say that doesn't look like a beginner album to me. But again, the course takes you through the very first step, the entire layering process, and the finished product. All right. So here's your beginner album. They're a wonderful size to start with. And when you open it up, just give you a little peek. See, this is what your beginner album looks like. All right. It takes you through custom page making, photo mats, interactive elements, designing a page, which is very, very important, whether to cover or not to cover pattern paper. How can you maximize the space in a mini album? And all sorts of wonderful topics that you've probably asked yourself 1,000,001 times. How do I do that? Well, it's covered right here in the Back to Basics. So again, this is your beginner. Each album has 6 pages. It has a beautiful binding system. It has different elements. All right. So you take it from the beginner to the intermediate to the advanced, and you learn something new in every single one. Then it just all culminates with the advanced album, and I include new things in there as well. So you take everything that you learn in the beginner, you take everything that you learn in the intermediate, we round it off with an advanced album, and we make a beautiful piece. And every piece is totally functional. Every piece has that wow factor, and you're just going to go to these over and over and over again. All right. And what I love about this Back to Basics project is that you also get the back to basics on box making. For some of you, it will be back to basics. For the more seasoned scrapbooker or paper crafter, it will be a refresher course. It will be a review. You will learn things that you probably didn't know. For those of you who want to get into album making or 3D projects, or perhaps just memory keeping and scrapbooking as a whole, this is where you want to start. If you've ever looked at one of my projects, let's say this one. This is the file under M for Memories. You look at it, you've looked at my preview video, and you say, man, I would just love to make that. But you don't know how, you don't know where to start, you don't even know what tools to use. This is where you want to start with the Back to Basics. I give you tool suggestions, recommendations, where to get these tools, and how to start. What are the basics? If you ever look at a project like this and you say, my gosh, I love this project, I would love to make it, but I don't think I can. Yes, you can if you take the Back to Basics course, because it's going to take the guesswork out of everything. You can most definitely make this project from my tutorial, because I believe that I write a really good tutorial, but there are tips and techniques that you use over and over in making handmade items. The same sorts of techniques that you use over and over and over. And if you master them in a basic project like this, when you move on over to a project such as this Mademoiselle handbag, when you look at the tutorial, you already know how everything is going to come together. All right. When you look at it, you're going to see that this is a score line. You fold on the score line to create a flap. The flap connects the pocket to the base page. You know, all that. The hip bone connects to the whatever bone. That's what this is all about. All right. So I have added more kits on the Back to Basics. So you have one or two choices. You have the Back to Basics, where it's just the tutorial and the how-to videos. All right. Then you have the Back to Basics, where you can get the kit. So you can make your project exactly like mine. You get everything you need to create this box, these three albums exactly like mine. So you don't have to think about, I don't have that, or I don't have this. What can I use instead? That's what you get. All right. You get absolutely everything. So if you're interested in the kit, you can go to my blog, paperphenomenon.com, to pick it up. If you're interested in the course, you can go to my blog to pick it up as well. The course is under the tutorials tab. The kit and the course is under the kits tab. All right. The beauty about this project is what I'm calling an active project. It is going to be something that I add to over and over and over. Every time I think of something that would be great for the Back to Basics, instead of creating a Back to Basics 2, why not create something that I can add to and you can reference over and over and over, as opposed to having you have to take a second course. You will go back to this online link that I give you and reference these videos for a lifetime. All right. You will have access to these. There's going to be new material added. I can't tell you how frequent it will be, but there will be whatever new material is that needs to be added to the Back to Basics course will be added, and you will have access to that at no extra cost. Okay. So it's going to be an active file where I can add things to and update, perhaps give you new tips, new tricks, and it's all going to be there for you. So in a nutshell, Back to Basics is creating handmade projects from A to Z. This is Kathy with Paper Phenomenon. Check out my blog, pick up Back to Basics, enjoy paper crafting, use your supplies, and have a wonderful, wonderful time crafting. Until next time.